And Uber Eats has just sold its India business to Zomato. The deal in the food delivery app space has been struck at $270 million. Joining us right now to talk about the deal is the Chief Financial Officer at InfoEdge, Mr. Chintan Thakkar. He's joining in right now. Mr. Thakkar, thanks very much for taking up the time. Run us through the contours of this particular deal and, what is the final holding that InfoEdge will have post the completion of this deal?
So, post-conclusion of this deal, InfoEdge will hold about close to 23%, I think 22.71 to be precise. We would be second largest shareholders once the deal is done.
What's the plan in terms of getting an increase in market share within this space? I mean, at the time of acquiring Uber Eats, what has been the game plan to make sure that you reach a certain level of penetration within the Mumbai market, within the India market, and the growth there?
Yeah. So it's all about garnering more and more critical mass so that the unit economics, also improves from where we are. As you know that, the overall cash burns have started coming down for Zomato and in a very significant way. And we think that, this gain in volume and increased shares in some of the cities and some of the territories will improve our position from the growth standpoint as well as from the cash burn standpoint. So overall, we think that from both perspective, this should be a complete win-win deal for us.
Chintan, but that's exactly what I wanted to ask you about the fact that, while the cash burn may have come off for Zomato, is there a possibility that it may inch back up considering now that, Uber Eats business is also going to be a part of Zomato? Would that have at least near-term pressure going forward?
Well, I think the consolidation should improve that cost structure. We don't think that it will worsen from where it is. The volume growth would be there and volume growth will get more critical mass. And that should have a positive impact on the overall unit economics.
Then where would the consolidated entity, that is Zomato and Uber Eats, land in terms of the competitive scenario? If you could share with us any numbers with respect to market share or any other variable.
Yes, basically, from the legality standpoint, the consolidation is that, as a standalone company, Zomato has bought the assets of the Uber Eats, right? So everything will start, getting reported into the standalone entity. It's hard to predict the number in terms of how the growth rate would be, but we would think that we definitely would be number one in terms of competitive landscape once this deal is done and the traffic moves onto Zomato side. We definitely think that it gives us the edge in terms of leadership in this space.
On a consolidated basis, Chintan, when it comes to InfoEdge, what sort of impact will Zomato eventually have on the bottom line? That's one. Will it affect the FY20 numbers as well? And of course, going forward, what is the outlook when it comes to the bottom line with respect to Zomato? Then perhaps some sort of an impact in terms of outlook for FY21 too.
Yeah, so FY20 just only now, 3 months are left, so most of the FY20 is over. So it may not have much impact on FY20 numbers from this deal standpoint. However, having said that, the fact that Zomato has been reducing its cash burn, obviously that would augur well for our consolidated financial statements as well. Zomato is not our subsidiary; we are not operating. However, it's our affiliate, and we do kind of consolidate its net profit and net losses into our consolidated statements. So that should be improved because the cash burns have started coming down as compared to what it used to be earlier. So I think it's improving position, and we think that FY21 going forward, that those efforts will continue. And as I said that its growth coming in should help not only the top line, but it should also help in reducing the cash burn. So overall, we think that it should have a positive impact on our consolidated financial statements.
Last question, Chintan. Now, obviously, while India constituted 3% of the global gross booking for Uber Eats, it also constituted about 25% of the EBITDA loss on that scale for Uber Eats. Do you feel then that initially there could be some pressure?
Well, I don't know, these numbers, what, their global numbers are, Uber Eats. But what we think is that since we have bought some of the assets, we are not really buying the operating losses that, I don't know their cost structure and how they were burning cashes. But some of this, I would assume that some of these losses would be because of the discounting that's being offered, So now that it will come under Zomato, probably it would be on the lines of what Zomato would strategize, right? So it need not necessarily be on the lines of what, the Uber management was, was doing it, So, basically it's an asset, purchase and the, and the more volume will grow. So we don't think that unless and until we follow their strategy, that we would inherit those losses.
Got that. Chintan, thank you very much for joining us and highlighting the contours of that deal.